Hello, folks. Welcome to another Labierdomania vlog sort of thing. I've not done a Labierdomania stream for a little while now. I do apologise. And so just a little bit of a film-related chat. And just to say, I have no fucking idea what I want to do for Halloween this year. As Halloween falls on the weekend, on a Sunday, luckily I'm not going to be working, and on the Saturday I can pretty much start whatever I want to do in the evening. Now, I want to shoot some sort of video, but I don't know if it's going to be worth it because it'll be uploaded after Halloween. So it won't even be like a Halloween special type affair. Maybe I could do a live stream on Halloween, like talk about some of my favourite horror films or that sort of stuff. But I want to sort of get back into that sort of like Halloween-y horror autumnal spirit. And I have been getting into the autumn spirit in the most basic bitch way possible by trying to get pumpkin spice lattes and frappes as often as I possibly can from Starbucks. And tell you what, they are tasting good. And aside from that, I'm not feeling really spooky. Recording this on the 7th of October, so I've still got plenty of time to get myself into the mood. So I've been planning on going through my movie collection and watching any sort of horror related DVD or Blu-ray that I have. And I've realised I've hardly got any horror films. I've not even got a fraction of the classics that you must own. I'm recording this, I believe, on the 40th anniversary of Evil Dead, and I think in America they're doing like a nationwide screening of the original Evil Dead. I don't even have the Evil Dead films in my collection. I don't have any Halloween films. I don't have any Friday the 13th films. I don't have any Nightmare on Elm Street films. I don't have the House films. I don't have any of the sort of like the Gates of Hell trilogy from Lucio Fulci. I've not got a lot of, it's pretty much my Italian film collection is mainly giallo and crime films. And I don't know, I'm not really the biggest fan of slashers. I find them to be really quite boring a lot of the time, even like the main sort of like franchises. Although modern horror I find is a little bit crap. I still need to watch the Squid Games, is that what it's called? Which I've heard a lot of people talking about. If anybody tells me to watch Midsummer, you're getting blocked, because quite frankly, I've tried to watch that film multiple times, and I think I've only ever watched it all the way through once, and I just didn't find it entertaining. I didn't really find what's the film he did beforehand with the disfigured girl who gets ahead. That was the best part of that film, by the way. What was it called? Jack? You can't even see Jack properly. It's not Malevolence. I've heard that's a pretty good modern slasher. I've not even watched any of the critically acclaimed modern films like Raw or anything like that. It's weird. Maybe I could do that for this Halloween season. Try and watch as many horror films that I've never seen before. But that's... I'm going to have to stream most of them, because fuck paying for services like Amazon Prime and Netflix. suppose I could see what's on Sky, or watch some public domain films on YouTube that I've not seen before, or revisit series that I've not watched in a while, like the Saw films. I really enjoyed the Saw films. I really enjoyed the Wrong Turn films. But I don't know. I can't be arsed. But what was that film called now? I keep wanting to say Inheritance, but it's not Inheritance because that's a fucking stupid name for that film. Yeah, the one with Tony. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. Hereditary. There, fucking hell. I didn't really enjoy Hereditary. I enjoyed Midsummer even less so. But hey, we're not here to rant and moan. But yeah, it got me looking through my film collection. And, 2-2. France and Belgium, is that? Or is it Holland? I can't remember. I've put a bet in it. I can't remember who's playing. And it's just really lacking. So I thought I'd go through, even though I've done my film collection on one of the live streams. And I thought I'd just, maybe as I go through these, put together a list of films that I might want to watch. But and hopefully you can actually see them in this lighting. So the first film, it's a porno, A Woman's Torment. Bit more of a psychological horror because, let's face it, true horror doesn't involve monsters. It involves human beings. So that might be a good shout. Spinnaker Syndrome's release is really nice. Region 3, plus that's another hindrance. I don't really have a Region 3 player for Blu-rays, but then again, I wouldn't buy Blu-rays if I couldn't play them. God, how basic did I sound then? Basic white girl. I wouldn't buy Blu-ray if I could play them. But my TV, the built-in DVD player on my TV is Region 3, so I can watch some American stuff. But yeah, maybe that might be a shout. I can't really remember too much. I'm sure I did a Mondo Squalido review of that, if you want to go check it out. Then we've got this one, Kaltiki, an early Mario Bava flick. Well, it's a joint venture between him and another director. Black and white, bit campy, bit kitsch. Got through about halfway through this film and I was like, yeah, it's alright. Some really quite gruesome effects considering it's only rated 12 and the era that it was in. But then again, it's got Mario Bava involved, so of course there's going to be good effects. So that's going to go on that side because I'll have to watch half of that, the rest of that. Because I think there's 2 versions of it as well on the Arrow release. Now, I revisited this the other night. Last House on the Left. Well, I watched the Krug and Company version, which I think it is slightly different. I think the main difference is at the end of the film, the main girl, or one of the main girls, because they obviously kill both girls in the film. It's no spoiler, it's been out for years, it's an infamous film. But at the end of the film, instead of just finding the daughter's body, I think she's still alive. She's just about to die. And I forgot how mean-spirited and just gnarly this film is. Now, it's not the most graphic of films. It's not the most gruesome or anything like that. But it's just so mean-spirited. And I know Wes Craven's original script for this was quite pornographic. This feels like, watching it back, it feels like an early 70s sort of like roughie. Just, I don't know, and obviously it helps because you've got like, is it Fred Lincoln is his name, who was a porn director himself, and David Hess is just amazing in this. Of course you've got this sort of like campy police side of things, especially when they try and get a lift off that woman driving the chicken wagon. So it's like some really ill-fitting jokes. But I forgot how nasty, genuinely nasty this film is. I actually really enjoyed it. I've never seen The Virgin Springs, which this takes heavy influence from. And I really do need to upgrade this release. Because Arrow have done an absolutely gorgeous box set of this. It's probably going to be expensive to buy the actual limited edition box set that they did. But it would be nice to have this on Blu-ray. Just see if there's any additional extras in this. But the good thing about this DVD release is you do get the slasher documentary Going to Pieces, which is always a good watch. I've watched it a few times. But yeah, it was good revisiting that. I need to put that in my watch place because there's all the special features I need to watch again. Going back to Barber, we've got Kill Baby Kill, one of his gothic horror films. I think I've watched the Italian version of this because it is a little bit more scarier because it doesn't have the, the campy English dubbing. And I remember being a visual masterpiece. So I might have to watch the English dub version because I think the two versions of the film itself are quite different. This is one that I will definitely have to revisit. Theatre of Blood with Vincent Price, who plays as a stage actor who basically goes off the rails after loads of negative reviews from critics and then goes out of his way to merge them one by one in some very gruesome and imaginative and sometimes hilarious ways. Good thing about this release is there's a commentary track from The League of Gentlemen, and you can definitely see some of this and other pieces of film and cult TV and that sort of stuff in The League of Gentlemen's work and projects that different members have been involved in. But that's good campy fun time indeed. So that's probably going to go on that list. Then we've got a couple of classic zombie films which will definitely be rewatched. Zombie Flesh Eaters from Lucio Fulci, one of the ultimate zombie films. And Fabio Frizzi's score to this is just amazing. I'm actually really happy at how it's probably going to look awful because I'm seeing it like on a smaller screen on my phone, so it looks a bit sharper. It's probably going to be all distorted and blurry, but I'm going for that 70s aesthetic. By the way, 8mm camera on iPhone. You're going to pay a few quid for it. Definitely worth it. This basically helped Mondo Squalido sort of get the, I'm going to say fan base. I'm going to give myself some credit for once that it did. But yeah, this is a classic film. I wish I'd got the steelbook of this. But then again, I think even was it Shriek Show or Blue Underground did a really nice DVD release as well. But I'm just glad to have this classic in the collection. And it's been a few years since I've watched it, so watch pile. And then we've got the greatest zombie film of all time. The best film out of the trilogy for me, Dawn of the Dead. The zombie film that got me into zombie films. And yeah, I mean, obviously there's a beautiful release now here in the UK on Blu-ray. But it took me ages, I think I've said this before, it took me ages to get hold of this American DVD release, which has got the director's cut, theatrical cut, and then Dario Argento's Italian cut. But yeah, no matter what, I mean, even that first DVD that I had, which was just basically bare bones, but it's the only release, I think, or one of the very few releases that I've got this specific Tom Savini audio commentary on. But yeah, I shall be revisiting this, although I'll probably be watching the After Hours Mall cut, which I think is just basically everything from every version put into one thing, and I think it's on YouTube as well. So yeah, classic, but I still need to get the Blu-ray of that. Then we've got Buio Amiga, or Beyond the Darkness, I think the English title was called. Yeah, watched this for the first time a few months ago, and I thought it was gruesome, bloody, and it was just really good. just campy horror film. Joe D'Amato as well, wasn't it? Yeah. Sleazy as all out. And some really good effects. Maybe that'll go on the watch pile. There we've got Bruno Mattei's classic Rats, Nights of Terror. I think I've got... Did I bring it down from my shelf? Where is it? Yeah, another World Entertainment release as well. Just good, schlocky fun. It's a bit more sci-fi action than horror, admittedly. And I actually need to get a frame for the poster. I used to have the German poster, which I won in a competition ages ago on YouTube, but because I was broke, I ended up selling it, and I feel scummy. It's like all the Vinegar Syndrome releases that I ended up selling, which were just sent to me for review. But, you know, when times are tough, you've got to do things that you're not very proud of. That's definitely going to get revisited. Suspiria, say no more. Can watch this film multiple times. Never get bored of it. It's my favourite Dario Argento film. Literally a nightmare. And just a masterful piece of filmmaking. Nice release as well. Horror of a different kind. Got Sallow. Got both the BFI release, Blu-ray, and the Criterion DVD. I think this, even though both are technically uncut prints, I think the BFI release, out of the two, is supposed to be the most definitive because it's got Nazi-related speeches or something like that the Criterion release doesn't have, but human atrocities. As I said, that for me is the biggest horror, not a monster or a mythical creature. Someone going around doing absolutely awful things to awful people, I was going to say. This just ended up being a video of me just talking about films that I've talked about before, but I'm trying to seek inspiration, and this is where you guys come in. If you can think of any of these films, maybe I can cover them if I do like a Halloween special, which will be recorded on Halloween, then uploaded probably about a week or so later. But yeah, any suggestions, recommendations would be greatly appreciated. Then we've got Turnheel, which was an independent shot on video little gore fest from I can't remember the guys' names now. I used to, when I was big in the film community, not big as in like, oh look at me, but when I was a lot more active in the film community, sent me over a copy of this, and it's good independent stuff. This is one that's definitely going on the watch again list, and that's The Brood from David Cronenberg, who's in Star Trek. Couldn't believe it. Making a name for himself in the acting world, even though he's been doing that for years. I think his most notable sort of appearance would have been in Jason X. But yeah, The Brood. Watched it once years ago, really enjoyed it. Never watched it since. And again, this DVD release comes with the UK and US prints. So I can't remember which version I watched initially, but we shall watch again. Another classic again. Not horror classically defined as horror, but again, poor woman goes through some absolutely awful things. And then, well, it's more of an exploitation film. We're not going to class that, but I do need to rewatch it because it's a classic film. It's like the exploitation film of exploitation films. And I really need to get myself, was it Fright Rags who did the t-shirt? I need to get that, but they're so expensive. They also did a really cool, I think they did a good Beyond t-shirt as well. I need to get some more horror merch. Fright Rags, or what's it, Rotten Cotton, I think that's what they were called. Cannibal Ferox. I won't be revisiting this because I watched it fairly recently, to be fair. but it's a good cannibal film. It's no Cannibal Holocaust, but Cannibal Ferox, it's sort of like the scruffy, rowdy, punk younger brother of Cannibal Holocaust. A couple of Ben Wheatley films. Kill List, Field in England. Although that's just more like a psych out, psychedelic sort of film as opposed to horror. But this is a good horror with some nice pagan undertones. Really getting into paganism recently. I found out a woman who I work with is a pagan and doesn't shy away from it. Fair dues. She did tell me, though, if you ever get harassed by a Jehovah's Witness and you want them to shut up and leave you alone, just say you're a pagan. I've yet to try that. There's a weird cleaning lady in work who works on Saturdays. And whenever we're on our lunch break outside, she comes out. She's never done it to me, but to other people, she ends up harassing them about Jehovah's Witnesses and like trying to preach to them. Funny enough, out of all the religious groups, I do find that the Jehovah's Witnesses, and apologies to any Jehovah's Witnesses who may be watching this, I do find them to be some of the most irritating and annoying people. Doesn't matter if it's at your front door, on your lunch break at work, or even Jehovah's Witnesses who, when I'm in work and we finished our call, utter the classic lines, "Are you religious by any chance?" At that point, conversation on the phone should end, but I like to talk to people about religion and stuff like that. The amount of times Jehovah's Witnesses have called, placed an order at work, and then promised to send me a Bible. So they lie as well. They're annoying and they lie. At least Muslims follow... No, we won't. Some more gothic horror. More of the vampiric and nubile form. Twins of Evil. I really need to upgrade this DVD. It's a really bad DVD release. And then a double feature of Vampire Lovers and Lust for a Vampire. All three films really atmospheric. But I've got to say, the pervert in me absolutely loves Vampire Lovers and Lust for a Vampire. There's just something about like period outfits, but also just, I mean, I'm not into vampires or anything like that, but just the way they wear these like long white linen gowns that just, there's just something, hits a bit differently. Still need to watch this, the DVD that Adam borrowed to me. Sound like Seaside Mark then. This is Night Watch. I can't remember if it was Night Watch and then Day Watch, or Day Watch and then Night Watch. Another sort of like, I think it's Russian vampire film. Post-apocalyptic as well. I remember watching a double feature of this and Day Watch. Really enjoyed it, so I'm going to be revisiting that. Oh, and these can go in there as well, because Daddy needs to play. I'm joking, by the way. Then we've got two films which are from my childhood. And there used to be a video shop. Well, it was like a fruit and veg sweet shop, but they also rented out videos. And these two films I always remember because around Halloween, we'd rent films. When Music Zone was going on, we'd always buy like the cheap VHSs. I even remember buying House, or my mum coming back from shopping with a copy of House on VHS for Halloween. And yeah, these two films, they mean a lot to me, and I'd like to get proper releases of them. I think these are both German releases. The first one is The Willies, my favourite anthology horror film. It's just It's not really kid friendly, but it's kid friendly fun. So that might make an appearance. And then also The Lady in White. This is the German release again. Ghost story. I remember it being genuinely creepy. But again, one of those, like, it's not really a kid's film, but kids can watch it. Jesus Christ, I'm going to sound like a boomer here, but music videos now are more controversial than most of these, and that's on, like, primetime TV, do you know what I mean? And the fact that I've referred to it as primetime TV, fucking shoot me. Another classic zombie film and another film I need to upgrade. The Living Dead at Manchester Morgue. Sampled wonderfully by Electric Wizard. And can't believe we didn't take Paul. I should have taken Paul to some of the shooting locations in Manchester city centre. Even though the rest of the film was shot nowhere near Manchester, it was in the Peak District. But yeah, this is good fun. Really atmospheric. Not, I mean, it's campy and schlocky, obviously. It's a 70s Euro zombie film, but genuinely atmospheric. Need to rewatch that. And hopefully Wonderground did a really nice release of that. Then we've got Possession, which I'm really not a fan of. I don't get the buzz about this film. To me, it's just dumb. But people, like, put so much unnecessary narrative on this film. Like, oh, well, what he's trying to say with this film, it's like a comment on, like, the Cold War. And it's like, no, it's just a fucking stupid, over-the-top, dumb film where some stupid bitch runs through a subway in Germany, I think it was, screaming, throwing stuff around, so over the top, and it's just fucking stupid. And there's a big tentacle monster at the end. It's not high art. It's not a metaphor for anything. It's like 99% of David Lynch's work. It's silly and stupid for silly and stupid sake. But for some reason, no disrespect to David Lynch, because I do really like David Lynch. He's got the best hair in the business. But a lot of his stuff, Twin Peaks especially, I don't get why, how people can take Twin Peaks seriously. It's just really stupid. Like a lot of David Lynch's work. This isn't David Lynch, obviously, but do you know what I mean? It's got over the top Sam Neill, but this is a really nice fan release that a good friend by the name of Kulfi, who I don't think does YouTube anymore, put together with, like, various sort of, like, releases, and even made art cards, and yeah, great stuff. So I'm happy to keep it, but I might revisit that someday. But I still think it's a really stupid fucking film. Malabimba, the Malicious Whore. Did a review of this on Mondo Squalido, I think. Yeah, this is a bit... Ooh. Basically, actress is of legal age, but I think she's like playing like a 15 or 16-year-old girl who gets possessed and basically gets naked a lot. I think even, is it her uncle who's like her paralysed uncle or paralysed father she ends up having sex with, gets possessed. Yeah, it's horror, it's X-rated. One of those films where they shot hardcore scenes, but you can watch the film without the hardcore scenes. But it's just, again, good, trashy, sleazy, just exploitation horror, and I'm going to be rewatching that. Another small independent film from the legend that is Nicholas Box, and this is Brutal Jesus and the House of Wasted Youth. Yeah, Nick Box, great guy, really talented filmmaker, doesn't get the credit he deserves, although he's making a good little name for himself with NFTs. Which, by the way, I can't just send people dick pics anymore. I need to make money from them, so I'm going to start sending dick pics as NFTs, because it's the only way I can financially sustain myself. Now that's a genius move if you've got a massive penis. Put it on the NFT market. I always thought, NFT back in the day was just one of those personality types that annoying women put on dating profiles. Very obscure joke, that. I think it's funny, I've just made it up. Well, I've not. I've had that loaded for a while. God, that makes me look like such a terrible person, the way I've just spoke about women then, but it's dating apps. You've got every right to be humiliated and judged, because that's what dating apps are basically for. It's the most prejudice sort of thing ever. Rarely. You're basically swiping left if you think they're an ugly bastard, and then swiping right purely because you think they're really attractive. I swipe right a lot because I've got such high tastes. High tastes? Yeah. But, you've got to punch above your weight. It's got me a few dates. But yeah, it's a really good film. A good, small, independent film, that. It's going on there, because I haven't watched it for a while. Then we've got... Now, this is something that I'll probably do a little bit of a marathon on. The collector's edition of The Ring. The series, the trilogy. And it's got also another film from the director. Great stuff, this. I like the American version, the remakes as well. They were quite fun. Again, I think Arrow's put out another gorgeous release of the trilogy. If not trilogy, definitely the first Ring film. In fact, I think this has got the 3 main Ring films, and then... Because I think it started off as like a TV movie in Korea, didn't it? Or something like that. I don't know, there's 4 films in this box set. Sleeping Bride. I'm not sure. I think it's somehow linked to the Ring films. And that's where you realise I need to get the Guinea Pig collection. Because now that's really good Japanese low-budget horror. I don't like the American Guinea Pig stuff. It's just dumb. It's just has no sort of artistry or charm or character that the original Guinea Pig series had. But that's just my thoughts and opinions. And then the last horror film that I've got. I mean, I've got Nosferatu, Werner Herzog's version, which was in the Werner Herzog box set. And there's also La Bête, the Beast from Borowczyk that I've got as well, which I forgot to bring down. But yeah, Hell of the Living Dead by the legend that is Bruno Mattei. I need to upgrade this DVD to a Blu-ray as well. I think it's 88 Films who released it here in the UK. And yeah, so as you can see, I've got enough films to cover and enjoy over this spooky month. Some nice revisits, some films that I've not watched for absolutely years, and some films that I've not watched yet. Oh no, I think basically they're all films that I have seen before. But yeah, so I need ideas for what sort of content I can shoot horror-wise, Halloween-wise. Maybe I could film my Halloween. Maybe I could come up with a film challenge for people to do on Halloween. Watch your favourite Halloween film, watch a horror film you've never watched before, watch a horror film that you hated the first time round. Yeah, you might see something pop up, and it's all 3-2 France. Belgium were 2-0 up initially. I hope my shots on target bets come through. It's only 20 quid, but 20 quid's 20 quid, you know what I mean? And yeah, I know there are glaring holes in my movie collection, horror film wise and generally. So yeah, any recommendations for stuff that I should watch, that I should pick up, that I should cover? Would you like to see sort of like a Halloween special, even though it won't be uploaded on Halloween? Would anybody be interested in taking part in a challenge? A film challenge, movie challenge, something like that? Let me know in the comments. And yeah, aside from that, it was a really pointless video. I was just showing you, stuff in cases, really, wasn't I? But yeah, I want to do something this Halloween. I want to get myself in the mood, so I might crack open one of these films. But it's all kicked off with Last House on the Left. That was a good revisit. Really scraping the bottom of the barrel with my content these days. And there will be more Labierdomania live streams, don't worry. Maybe I might do a Labierdomania special live stream on Halloween, if anybody's interested, on Sunday, 31st of October. Look out for maybe an announcement video of a horror challenge or something like that. And if you've got any sort of like ideas for that, like what sort of like films should I watch? Like, think of suggestions like a horror film that you've never seen before, or like a trilogy of horror films that you'd like me to watch, or like a film that I really liked that I've only ever watched once, or a film that I hated and will give a try again, like a ghost film, maybe a horror film from a specific decade. Just, yeah, any sort of recommendations would be greatly appreciated. And I've noticed I'm looking less like spooky, and I'm looking more like a Nazi by candlelight, so that's always good. It is quite fascist, this hairstyle that I've got going, especially these round glasses. But mind you never really saw any fat Nazis, so that distills that myth. Dispels. You can't even come up with proper words, can you? Throat's really hurt now, so I'm going to end this really dramatically by blowing out the candle so it goes pitch black. And yeah, any comments will be greatly appreciated. Thank you for watching. Surely you've had something much more interesting, better, and life-fulfilling to do than watch me just sit here with a low-quality, pixelated video. But it is what it is, isn't it, at the end of the day? But yeah, I need to build up my horror film collection. That is really quite evidently clear. Anyway, thanks for watching. What are you guys doing on Halloween? And yeah, as said, any suggestions, recommendations, or even like themes for live streams we could do between now and Halloween, just hit me up. And yeah, cheers for watching. And you all take care. Hope you're all having a good October so far. If you're getting yourself in the mood, that's always good. For Halloween, of course. Get your mind out the gutter. Anyway, see you later, take care, and dramatic end to the video. Of course, doesn't go out. Dramatic end to the video. You don't realise it, but I'm flapping my penis in front of the camera right now.